This is Nick Williams with Temple of Geek, and today we are reviewing the movie Borderlands. This will be a spoiler-free review, so not to worry. Borderlands is based on a best-selling video game series. The movie follows Lilith, played by Cate Blanchett, who is a bounty hunter hired to find a daughter. The daughter, Tina, played by Ariana Greenblatt, is actually the daughter of Atlas, who is in charge of a huge corporation. Tina had been rescued or kidnapped by Roland, played by Kevin Hart, depending on your point of view. Kevin Hart's character Roland was a mercenary but chose a better path. During the adventure, new people get added to the team, like Krieg, who is a demolitionist, and Tannis, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, who is an oddball scientist. And of course, we have a zany robot paired up with Lilith named Claptrap. Claptrap is played by none other than Jack Black. The basic plot backstory is you had an ancient alien species who were far beyond the human race. They were very advanced, and all human technologies are based off of this race. There were secrets left behind by this alien species, and that would be discovered in a vault. So basically, it's a race to discover and open this vault. And of course, we have an unlikely group of heroes who's trying to survive against an evil corporation. So here's my completely honest review. This will not be a critically acclaimed movie. This is what most people would just consider a fun movie. You don't go into a movie like Borderlands expecting Casablanca. This is just supposed to be a fun ride. The movie can be campy, it can be cheesy. Some of the graphics can look a little computer generated, but I think that's part of the point of Borderlands. Especially knowing this is based off of that video game. And I haven't played the video game, but I have seen clips of it, and it really stays on track with what that video game presents. There's a lot of the video game elements. You get hordes that you're fighting against trying to survive. A lot of the scenes you get between characters actually feel like it's from a video game. So the movie itself starts off a bit campy and a bit predictable, but I do think at some point it does start to find its footing and has a heart to it. Unfortunately, the only real character development is based off of Lilith, and everybody else is a little bit two-dimensional. And for me, Cate Blanchett, I will watch Cate Blanchett in anything. I absolutely adore her. She's fantastic. The other supporting cast when it comes to Kevin Hart is usually the comic relief. And Kevin Hart just plays Kevin Hart. However, in this one, Kevin Hart isn't actually the comic relief. That all falls to Jack Black. So you have the wise-ass robot as the comedic relief for this movie. Like I said, this will not be a critically acclaimed movie, and I feel it's going to suffer off of the heels of Deadpool and Wolverine, but this is a movie that you go into just to have a good time. Now, do you need to see this in the theater? No, I do not think you need to go see this in the theater. I don't think it is something you need to drop everything and go see, but I think it would be good when it comes to the streaming services. Now, I believe it's rated PG-13, and there is a lot of violence, so be careful when it comes to kids. You don't really see a lot of blood or anything like that, but it is a lot of fighting, and a lot of people do perish. Because this movie only really revolves around Lilith and Lilith's backstory and her character development, that's why I think it suffers a little bit with finding its footing for a while until she really finds that dynamic with the team. And it's the relationship between Lilith and Tina that really carries the movie. A lot of times when you see reviews from critics and you see audience scores, there's a lot of times a disparity between the two numbers. And it's because the audience and the critics are looking at it with different lenses. And my goal is to combine the two lenses to give you an honest reaction. If you're a person that needs a quality movie with the best special effects, with great character development, this is probably not the movie for you. But if you can enjoy a fun movie and a fun ride, not have to think too much for a couple hours, and just have a good time, you'll probably enjoy this movie. And honestly, I think that was the point of this movie from the start, from the directors and the producers, is just to create a fun movie because the video game has that kind of vibe. It's wacky, it's crazy, it's zany, and just a bit ridiculous, to be honest. Sometimes the jokes land, sometimes they don't. The action in the beginning wasn't quite as good as the action that happens later on. And again, they don't really spend much time developing the characters except for Lilith. So again, if you're looking for a fun movie, you might enjoy this one, but I would say wait for streaming. But then again, the movie experience is great. If you just want to be able to shovel a bunch of popcorn and watch a movie, this one's for you. I have a feeling when the scores come out on something like Rotten Tomatoes is you will see a lower critic score and a little bit higher audience score. It's really hard for video game movies to translate to the big screen. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel.